Hello, Introduction to Java Programming. In this session, we will discuss about else if ladder. Let's start. In the previous session, we have discussed about if statement and we have understood the three forms of if statement, namely simple if else, and the nested if else. Now let's understand the fourth form, that is else if ladder. We know basically if statement is a two-way statement. That means you have only two options, then you can better use if statement. If it is true, the true part is going to get executed. If it is false, the false part is going to get executed. Ideally, if is for two-way statement. But we understood if more than two options are there, you can actually nest it and we can actually solve by using the nested if else. But what if you have so many options? You have so many conditions to check. It's not just two, not three. You can have five, six, and sometimes even it is 10. Then how do you do with if? Then you need to construct something called else if ladder. So we need to check so many conditions, and if it is not true, then you have to go to the else part, and again you have to check the condition. So if expression, if it is true, we will stop over here. Else, we will again check the condition. If it is true, we will stop over here. Else, if the again we check the condition. If it is true, we will stop here. Otherwise, we will be seriously checking the conditions, right? So this is the syntax of else if ladder. If expression, if it is true, we'll stop here. We are done. None of these else things will work. Otherwise, we'll again check the condition. And if it is again false, again we'll check the condition. Again false, again we'll check the condition. Like that, n number of options are there, and you want to choose one, then you can actually go for else if ladder. So we need to construct a ladder kind of structure using this else and if. In order to make you understand, let me actually take you to a program. And in this program, I would like to read marks of a student. I would like to read marks of a student, and these marks will be generated as a random number between 1 to 100. Based on the marks that are generated, I would like to find what is the grade. So the grades are like this. If the marks generated are greater than or equal to 85, the grade is going to be A plus. If the marks are generated are less than 85 but greater than to 70, greater than or equal to 70, then A grade. Otherwise, it is between 70 to 60, then it is grade B. Between to 60 to 50, then it is grade C. And 50 to 40, that is grade D. And less than 40, that is actually a grade called fail. So we have so many conditions, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 conditions we have to check. So usually if is not ideally suited for this, because if works with two statements only, the two conditions only. Nested if else, we can actually make it to 3 or 4, but I have 6 to check. Then definitely I have to go with the else if ladder. And let's see how we are going to write actually. So I have the marks which are generated by the random method of math class. And math is, it is actually from the Lang package. By default, it is available for all Java programmers. The Lang package is by default imported to any program. So let me write straight away the conditions actually. So I have the marks and I am checking if marks are greater than or equal to 85. Then straight away I say the grade is A plus, right? So every time I say grade, and actually I will give what is the grade A plus. That's it, I am done. Okay, if it is not greater than or equal to 85, what we have to do? It should be either A or B or C or D, right? So then I have to check for that also. That's why what we do else, that means if marks greater than or equal to 85 fails, then I will come to this else. Immediately I will check for the next one actually. Okay, so the next range I will check. Else if marks greater than or equal to 70. Okay, so here what we are saying, we say here the grade equal to A. So how it works? Let's assume, for example, marks generated are here 75. Random number has generated 75. 75 greater than or equal to 85? No. So this statement is not going to get executed. Line number 10 will not execute. It will come here, and we are checking for marks greater than or equal to 70. Yes, because marks generated are 75. So this is true, and this will get printed and we are done. Right? But if marks are less than this 70, what should happen? Again, I have to write one more else if, and I have to check for this marks. If marks are greater than or equal to 60, then what we are telling, then that means marks greater than or equal to 70 means it is between 60 to 70, because the 70 condition failed and I am here. That means any marks is not greater than 70, but greater than or equal to 60 is going to be grade B now. Grade B. Okay, so we are done for this as well. Now let's actually see if the marks are even less than 60, then I have to ask for one more condition. Else if marks are greater than or equal to 50. Now what I'm saying here, again, I have to write what is the grade corresponding to these marks, that is actually grade C. If marks are still less than 50, then I should write one more else if, and I have to say marks greater than or equal to 40, then it is going to be grade D. Okay, and finally I have to check one more condition. So that means the marks are not greater than 85, not greater than 70, not greater than 60, not greater than 50, not greater than 40. That means something which is less than 40. Okay, then it's a fail case, right? So now I need not to check again the expression, just I will say else. Okay, because anything which is less than 40 is going to be a fail thing, right? So marks are greater than or equal to 40 fails. That means marks are less than 40. Then I am going to say fail. The grade is actually fail. That's it. I need not to check again here. If this condition fails, I will come to the else part and this is fail. So this is how we can actually write the program for this particular problem description. Okay, so now somebody gets marks of 35. Now this will fail, comes here, 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 and this will fail. And because this failed, this has an else part, so this will be executed. So 35 is a fail mark. And somebody gets, let's say, 55. Now what happens? Greater than or equal to 85 fails, greater than or equal to 70 fails, greater than or equal to 60 fails, greater than or equal to 50 passes actually, because 55 is greater than or equal to 50, then actually grade C. So this is how it is going to work. So let me actually show you that it will work for all the random numbers which are generated. So here my program name is test. So Java C test.java. It's taking time to compile. Yeah, compiled successfully. There is no issue. And Java space test. Now, what are the marks generated? We don't know, right? So we are not printing that. So we actually, the first case generated is fail case. What I do is I will also print what are the marks generated. That is actually marks. So now we will understand why it was failed earlier case, right? Uh, if the number generated is less than 40, definitely failed. So in this here, a number might have generated which is less than 40. So now let test actually by compiling again. Now this time you see, yeah, so the marks generated are 2, so 2 is failed. So 1 to 100, the 2 got generated. Now let me check again, 37, again it's a fail. Now this time 88, so 88 means what happens? Marks greater than 85, true. So our program stops here itself. It prints A plus and our program stops there itself. Right, next time let's see, 21 again fail, 51. Yeah, 51 is grade C, right? So it fails, it fails, it fails, and it passes. If marks greater than 50, so print what? Grade C. Right, now let's see, 89 again grade A plus, then 37 fail, then 47 is D actually. So marks greater than 40, so grade D. Right, so 10 is fail, 16 is fail, 46 is grade D, and 40 exactly grade D, just pass actually, and 94 is A plus. So like this, we can actually use our else if ladder to check many conditions. Okay, so in fact, I am checking the marks by generating the random function. What else we can do is we can actually take it from the command line arguments, and you can actually pass whatever the marks you want. Otherwise, also you can actually read the marks from a from user, or not just one marks. You can actually read marks in good number of subjects, and you can average it, find the average, and based on the average you can actually decide your program grades. Okay, so this program can be extendable, but my point here is to make you understand about else if ladder. So else if ladder is required whenever you are checking more than 3 conditions. So there we will construct a ladder kind of a structure, and which will solve the problem. So hope you have understood about this else if ladder. So with this, the if statement and the forms of if are done. So if is basically a two-way statement, and which has 4 forms. Simple if without any else part. If else, that is actually the basic if structure. You will have true part as well as else part, and then nested if else, where you can nest your if else statements in another if else statements. So you can nest if in another if, you can nest if in else part, something like that. We can actually use this if else in a nested fashion, and this is about the else if ladder. So hope you understand, and see you in the next session with the switch statement. Thank you.